Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you for joining me for this all levels water flow. So this flow today is perfect as a morning practice to wake the body up, or at any other time of the day, as we'll be stretching, strengthening and moving kind of freely and fluidly throughout. So taking this kind of floaty element of water, but allowing us to feel supported by this element throughout the practice. So we'll be coming down into a lying position to get started. So when you're ready, you're just going to bring yourself down to a comfortable lying position on your back. You can bring the hands and the arms out to the side, maybe letting the feet drop out to the side, closing the eyes or taking a steady gaze up towards the ceiling. And as you start to breathe, notice your body expanding and contracting with your breath. Maybe you can feel the rib cage expand as you inhale and contract back in as you exhale. And begin to bring a little bit of awareness into your body. Notice the skin, which parts of your body are connected and touching the ground. Notice the muscles, the joints. Notice how the ground feels beneath your body. Imagine you're being fully held and supported by the ground that lies beneath you. Notice how might that feel. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling today. Whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, just making space for anything that's there. Allowing yourself to come into this practice and be here in this present moment. And from here, keep the eyes closed if that's comfortable. Start to bend in your right leg, plant the sole of your right foot on the mat. And gently allow your right knee to drop out to the side. Then slide your right leg down your mat until the right leg's lengthened again. And that hip, you might notice, naturally closes back in. So we'll do that twice more, bending in the right leg. Let the right knee open out to the side. Slide the right foot down. And last one, bend in the right leg. Open the right knee out to the side. Slide the right leg down. Take it on to the other side now. Bend in the left leg. Let the left knee drop out to the side. Slide that left leg down till the leg becomes straight. 2 more on the left side, going at your own pace. This is a really great way to open into the hip space. And taking your last movement here on the left side. And then pausing, noticing how the legs, the hips feel. And start to open the eyes back up if you had them closed. Gently, I want you to roll yourself over onto your front. And we're going to place the hands, just bring them a little bit further out than you would usually for a cobra. So bringing the fingertips down to connect with the ground. And you can have a little bit of space between the legs. And we're going to inhale, lift the chest. See if you can lift the head up last in your cobra. And then exhale, so undulating, float the chest, then the head back down. So inhale, lift the chest, lift the head. Exhale, drop the chest, drop the head. Go with your own breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, floating back down, imagining that element of water. Maybe imagine that you're taking these movements in water. So imagine you've got the support of water surrounding your body as you take these movements. How might that feel? How might that change the movements? Last one, letting the chest come back down to the mat. And then grounding into this right hand, we're going to press into the right hand, and you can use the left hand as well, and start to lift your chest, rolling onto your right side. Come up to seated, left leg's bent. See if you can slowly bring that left hand down to the mat, roll back onto your front, and then take it over to the other side, rolling onto the left side, lifting the chest, bending that right leg, coming up to seated. So rolling off your mat now. Slowly, see if you can bring yourself back to that lying position on your front. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come into tabletop position. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, find a downward facing dog. Well done. Take a little pedal out through the legs here, or any movement that feels good. Any little rolls or shakes that you want to take. Maybe taking some nods or shakes of the head here, releasing any tension in the neck. So we're waking up the body, stretching, strengthening, but also embodying. This is embodied movement, so bringing awareness as we move. Trusting our body's wisdom, trusting what our body wants us to know. So stepping the feet in a little bit closer than you usually would in your downward dog, remembering you can have as much softness as you need in the legs. Bring that right hand to the outside of the left foot and start to look underneath the left armpit. Taking this little twisty stretch. And release, take it onto the other side. Left hand comes to the outside of the right ankle, or maybe the hands on a different part of the leg. Again, take what feels right for you. Maybe you're reaching over in that direction. Gaze coming underneath that right armpit. And releasing back to your downward facing dog. We'll take a releasing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. On your next inhale, look between the hands, walk the feet in. So we're coming into a forward fold and just softening your legs as much as you need to. Find a little bit of buoyancy in the legs here. Take a little rock or maybe sway from side to side. Let the head hang down heavy. And then on your next inhale, slide the hands up the legs to the shins or the thighs. Find a halfway lift. As you exhale, folding forwards. Relax the head, let the chest drop down, bend the legs as much as you need to. So inhale, lifting, lengthening, finding that halfway lift shape. Exhale, floating back down. And this time seeing on the inhale how it feels to reach and expand the arms out to the side. And then exhale, float them back down. Inhale, can you expand the arms out to the side? Exhale, float back down. Imagine that floating in water feeling. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, floating back down. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest, coming up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathing here. Inhale, sweep the arms back and up and around. Exhale, float the hands through to heart center. Inhale, open the arms, sweep them up and around. Exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. And this time we come into our Surya Namaskar, our sun salutation. So we inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step the feet back. Either find a plank position or you can drop your knees straight down. Work through your version of Chaturanga. So either inhaling, come into a cobra or an upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Remember that child's pose is there for you, or a resting pose at any time that you need to take it. So take what you need in this practice and leave anything that's just not for you today. Honor your body and listen to it. Inhale, sweep the right foot through between the hands, reach the fingertips up, find your high lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, imagine drawing energy up with the hands, lengthening the arms. Exhale, cactus. One more, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus. Bring the hands through to heart center. And we'll open out to wide leg position. Point your toes out towards the corners of your mat. Tips up and around. As you exhale, hands come through to heart center. We float down to goddess. Inhale, really spread those arms wide up and around. Exhale, sink down to goddess, opening into the hips. Inhale, reach the arms up and around. Exhale, float down to that goddess. Last one, inhale, flow the arms up and around. Exhale, come down to your goddess. See if you can shift a little bit to the right side. Maybe shift a little bit to the left. Come back to center. And release, well done. So we're going to pivot back so that we're facing forwards on our mat, right leg's at the front, left toes are at a slight angle and the hips are square. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forwards, keeping the right hip tucked in, finding your pyramid pose. Maybe staying higher up here, or maybe if your hands are coming down to the mat or a block, on your inhale, find some lift through the chest. Maybe on that exhale, folding over that right leg. You could be drawing the forehead towards the shin, just an option. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. Taking these small movements with the breath, if that feels good for you. Then on your next inhale, bring the hands back to the hips. Start to lift the chest. Slowly making your way back up to center. Ground into your right leg. And we're going to start to bring this right hand down to either a block or the ground. Find a half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Bend into the standing leg as much as you need to. Maybe even seeing if you can get a little movement with this left arm. Again, coming back to that water element. Maybe you have a little plant here like I do. So I'm seeing if you can add these little embellishments into your practice, always opening new pathways in the brain, challenging our focus and concentration, coming out of your comfort zone. Bringing the hands back down to the mat, take a big step back to plank. And flow through your vinyasa, inhaling into either an upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Notice how the body feels. Maybe observing any thoughts passing through. And then on your next inhale, step the left foot through between the hands, reach the fingertips up to the ceiling, find your high lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. You can imagine you're moving energy with the hands. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reaching up with the fingertips. And then exhale, floating the hands through to heart center. Open out back to your wide leg stance, toes pointing towards the corners of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up and around. So I've got the palms facing up. See what feels good for you. Then bring the palms into me. Exhale, sink down to your goddess. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, grounding back down. Inhale, reaching up with the hands. Exhale, ground that energy back down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, grounding back down, staying here in your goddess, using the core. Notice this whole area, this container in the center. Lifting, supporting, maybe seeing if you can take a little bit of movement over to one side, then shifting over to the other side. Could be really subtle movement. Just notice how that feels. Well done, and release. Pivot the feet so that we're facing forwards on the mat again. Right toes pointing out at a slight angle. Left toes are pointing forwards. Inhale, lifting up and out from the waist. Exhale, folding forwards. Keep the left hip tucked in, finding our pyramid pose. So maybe staying higher up if that feels good for you, or you could take your hands to a block or the mat, maybe coming onto the fingertips, seeing if you can undulate here. So as we inhale, we lift the chest a little bit, lengthening the spine. And as we exhale, folding over that front leg. But this doesn't feel right for you, no need to force anything. So it could be that you're in stillness in your pyramid pose, and if that's what's feeling good for you, then taking that and working with your breath there. Taking one more breath here, wherever you are. And then on your next inhale, bring the hands back to the hips, lift the chest, keeping the spine long. Coming back up to center, grounding into your left foot. Start to bring your left hand down to a block or the mat. Find your Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon pose. Maybe seeing how it feels to have a little flow with this right arm. Seeing if you can reach it up to the ceiling. Maybe it reaches over towards that right ear and back. Just a little bit of exploration in the pose. Well done, and start to bring your hands back down to the mat. Take a big step back to plank and flow through your vinyasa, inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale back to your downward facing dog. Take a child's pose here if you wish to. Bring some awareness back to your breath. On your next inhale, we're going to slide the knee to the outside of the right wrist. Bring the shin down and start to find your pigeon on the right side, sliding that left leg back. So if you're higher up in your pigeon, taking some blocks and props to fill in the gaps to support you. You could use a block, or blankets and cushions work really nicely for this one too. So find and take the support that you need. And this right leg can be bent in as much as it needs to be. Just be mindful of that right knee and checking in with how the right knee feels. If it doesn't feel right, then easing off, taking some more support in the pose. And on the exhale, we're going to fold forwards, maybe letting the head drop down. And letting your body just melt into this space. And just trusting that everything you need is within you. You are exactly where you're meant to be right now. Taking one more deep breath here. And gently bringing the hands back down to the mat, lifting the chest. You can either slide back to tabletop position, or you can tuck the left toes under, power up through the back leg, float back to a downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here, just lifting the hips upwards. And then start to slide the left knee to the outside of the left wrist. Slide that right leg back, find your pigeon on your left side. Again, take any cushions, blankets, blocks to fill in any gaps where you're lifted away from the ground. When you're ready, start to walk the hands forwards, folding. Close the eyes or take a steady gaze. And begin to notice whatever you notice. You really can't get this wrong. Whatever you notice, whatever's alive for you in your body, your mind, emotionally, there is no right or wrong. It's enough to just be aware of what's there. So notice where your skin is meeting the mat. Notice any sensations, anything you can feel in the body. Maybe there's areas where you don't feel much. And that's okay too, observing that as well. And gently start to walk the hands back in, coming away from your fold. And this time we're going to ground into the hands. Everybody come back to tabletop position. And exhale, keep the elbows tucked in towards the body as you lower down to your front. And then once you're there, slide this right leg out to the right side. So we're in a kind of half frog position. So the right leg's in roughly a 90-degree angle. That's just a rough guide. And then you're going to inhale, lift the chest. So coming into almost a sphinx position, it's coming down onto the forearms. I want you to press your right hand into the ground, lengthening into your right arm. Thread your left arm underneath. Let your left shoulder and the left side of the head come down to the mat. And then really slowly start to open this right arm all the way over to the right. I have a wall in the way until you find your twist. So leaving you in this beautiful twist. And just adjusting the twist as much as you need to, reducing the range of movement if you need to. Maybe your head can drop over to the right. Letting the body just melt into the ground beneath you. Coming back to that sense of feeling safe and held and supported by the foundations underneath. And imagining how that would feel in your body, knowing that you're so supported that you can completely let go and relax, that there's nothing to hold on to carry. Slowly unraveling from your twist. So see if you can come out as you came in. So we're going to bring the right hand back down to the mat. Unthread the left arm. So we're back in a kind of Sphinx position. Just come down onto the forearms. Bring the right leg in. Take your left leg into a half frog position. So left leg's at roughly a 90-degree angle. Then lengthening into that left arm if you can. Thread the right arm underneath. Let the right side of the shoulder come down to the mat and the right side of the head. And then see how it feels to really slowly open up that left arm out to the left side. Coming into a twist, following with your gaze. Oh, I don't know about you, but that movement, that feeling of slowly opening the body into the twist. Really beautiful way to end this practice. Let me know how you found it. Taking slow, soft breaths. Allowing the muscles, the bones, the joints, the connective tissue, the cells, everything that's there is getting heavy. Notice how your energy feels. And we'll just slowly start to come away from the twist. But of course, if you have more time and you want to take longer, you absolutely can. So unraveling, rolling back onto your front. Just press the hands into the mat, lift the chest, and gently bring yourself up to seated, closing the eyes or taking a steady gaze. And we're going to bring the hands down to connect with the ground. Taking a releasing breath to close off the practice. I'll count for 3 as we inhale through the nose, and then you can exhale out through the mouth like a big sigh. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3, exhale, release. And let it all go. Coming back into the physical body, opening the eyes when you're ready. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for that practice. I hope that you enjoyed flowing a little bit like water today. Do let me know how you've got on. I love hearing from you. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, it's completely free. Just clicking the subscribe button, and really appreciate your support on here. So yeah, I can't wait to flow with you again really, really soon.